Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yeah, how about Shem Yahweh Shai Brakathum to the brothers? Shalom, Yahweh Shema Alathun by Shem Yahweh Shai to the sisters. And give y'all a couple minutes. We're going to go ahead and get started, all right? Give everybody a chance to get in here, get settled, get situated. You know what I mean? About to go ahead and get it, all right? Give everybody a couple seconds, man. As y'all come in, if y'all can like and share the class and let everybody know that we live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. All right. About to go ahead and get it started in a second. Just sharing the class around real quick. All right. We're going to get it going. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. We got a couple people in the class. All right. Let's go ahead and get it in. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Brakathum to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Alathun by Hashem Yahweh Shai to the sisters. We had an ISUPK start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohanan. And since 1969, we've been teaching the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans make up the greatest people on the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. And in 2024, man, there is nothing more important than us knowing our identity. You know what I mean? With the loss of our identity, y'all bear with me. I'm just sharing the class around. All right. Bear with me. If y'all can like and share the class, let everybody know we live. You know, so you can find us on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas. You can find us on YouTube, ISUPK, or sorry, on YouTube, Las Vegas Israelites. And you can find us on TikTok as well, ISUPK Las Vegas, or Las Vegas Israelites on TikTok as well. ISUPK Las Vegas on Twitter. All right. So again, if y'all can like and share the class, let everybody know we live. If anybody has any questions, you know what I'm saying, you go ahead and type them in. Lord allow, I better get your question answered tonight. If not, I will write your question down, and Lord allow, I'll have it by next week's class. Lord allow, I'm teaching class next week. I know it's been a minute. As y'all know, my schedule changed, so I slave at night mostly. You know what I mean? But don't got to go in too early tomorrow, so I figured, man, let me go ahead and knock the cobwebs off, man, and get back up in this class, man, and do what I enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying? Because when we go to our slaveries and we clock in, we call them slaveries for a reason, because that's exactly what they are. Those are our slaveries. But as priests and prophets of the Lord, when we get to go live on YouTube or go live on Facebook, or we go out there in the corners, that is our job, and that's what we look forward to doing. You know what I'm saying? Getting out there in them streets, or getting out here and teaching these classes to wake up the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. You get my point? Again, we have class in the Las Vegas area every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. Tuesday is a brotherhood class. Wednesday is the biblical law class. And Thursday is the scripture breakdown class. All right. So again, if anybody has any questions, you can go ahead and type them in. If not, we're going to get into the topic. All right. The topic for tonight's class is, even in tough times, you know what I'm saying, you must endure. That's pretty much the breakdown of the title. The title says endure to the end, because I didn't want no super long title. You get what I'm saying? But The reason why I chose this topic tonight is because there are going to be some brothers and sisters that's going to come into the truth. They're going to learn that they're Israelites, and they're going to learn that they're from the tribe of Judah or Ephraim, you know what I'm saying, or Gad. And they're going to think because they know that they're Israelites, that just like that, their life is going to become super easy. And they're not going to have no stress in their life, no problems in their life, none of those things. You see what I'm saying? And Lord allowed through these scriptures pertaining to this topic, Lord allow we'll all have a better understanding, you know what I'm saying, that being in the truth and serving the Lord does not mean, you know what I'm saying, that you will not have to endure, right? Christ said it himself, I'm paraphrasing, he said, he that endure to the end shall be saved. You see what I'm saying? What brothers and sisters have to understand is this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. You see what I'm saying? You got a lot of making up to do. You get my point? If you found the truth at 40 years old, that means from about 8 years old up until the age of 40. So you're talking about at least a good 30 years, you were a wicked, evil individual, whether you were male or female, right? So you're about 8, 9 years old. That's when some of us started doing, you know what I'm saying, evil shit at a younger age. But the point that I'm trying to make is when you were in the world, you did worldly things. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, when you come into the truth, you know what I'm saying, that's a time period for you to clean yourself up through the Spirit of the Most High in Christ. You see what I'm saying? And through that washing away the old man, you become a new man, you become a new woman. You get my point? And in that, you know what I'm saying, you learn how to serve the Lord. And through these scriptures, you'll have an understanding that even in tough times, you know what I'm saying, it is mandatory to serve the Lord, because the one thing, let me ask y'all this, what's the one thing you cannot do when times get hard? What's the one thing you can do it, you know what I'm saying? You do it at your own risk. You get my point? But I wouldn't suggest it. So my question to the class is, what's one thing you shouldn't do when times get tough? That's true, but give me some more though. What do you mean by that? When you say you're right, that's the right answer, but I want a little bit more though. I mean, it's not unlawful to complain. The scripture says surely oppression maketh the wise man mad. You know what I mean? So in your anger, you know what I'm saying, you're going to express that anger and that frustration. The scripture also says, damn, I almost gave the answer away. Y'all right by saying give up, but give me some more. You still not giving me what I'm looking for. You're right by saying lose faith. What does it mean to lose faith though? That's it right there. This is the answer that I was looking for right here. You know what I'm saying? From Officer Rock. You know what I'm saying? Don't stop praying or fall away from following the laws, because that's the first thing a lot of unseasoned brothers and sisters do. The first time they deal with a little bit of hardships, the first thing they want to do is go back to the old man or go back to the old woman. The thought process is, when I was in the world, I didn't have these kind of problems. I didn't start having these kind of problems until I started serving God. And in reality, a lot of times what you don't understand is you did have those kind of problems when you was in the world. The difference is you was too high to realize that you had those problems when you was in the world. That's the thing. You see what I'm saying? But now that you're sober minded, you see what I'm saying? Meaning that your mind is not being clouded by all the drugs and alcohol. And when I say all the alcohol, meaning you're no longer an alcoholic. Now through the Spirit of the Most High in Christ, you have enough discipline to have one drink. You might have 2 drinks, and by that 3rd drink, when you start feeling like, okay, I'm not myself, then it's like, okay, let me fall back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let me get something to eat. Let me drink some water. You see what I'm saying? And then after that, you know what I'm saying, then maybe I can have another drink a little later on. But in the meantime, I'm gonna cool out. That's the difference between being in the truth and having that wisdom and being in the world. You'll just keep drinking and drinking and drinking until you say or do something that you can't take back, or until you're just throwing up all over the place and embarrassing yourself. You see what I'm saying? That's actually one of the scriptures in this breakdown. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you know that this is a brother that's been studying. This is a wise brother right here. Oh, okay, Con, I understand the water. All right. So before we get into that, you know what I'm saying? It's a couple of articles that I want to get into a little bit, right? And then we'll get into the topic. As always, I know it's been a minute since I taught class, so y'all might not remember how this goes down. Once we get into the breakdown, if anyone has any questions, you know what I'm saying, don't hesitate to type your questions in. It ain't nothing for me to pivot off the topic, answer the question if I can, and then get back into the topic. That's not a problem at all. All right, this is the scripture breakdown class, and we're here to answer questions first and foremost. And then, you know what I'm saying, when there aren't any more questions, then that's when we get into the breakdown. All right. So the first thing I want to do, since I don't see any questions at the moment, the first thing I want to do is put this first story up right here, right? Check this out. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Let me check it out. Let's see. All right, check this out. This says Atlanta releases body camera footage 2 years after fatal police shooting at a Buckhead restaurant. All right. This is courtesy of WABE. All right, that's the website. It says body camera footage shows 22-year-old Nigel Cullins eating at the bar at a Buckhead restaurant in 2022 when 2 Atlanta police officers approach him and eventually shoot him to death approximately 10 times, right? So now let me stop right there real quick, right? The reason why stories like this is important is because I did a video a couple of weeks ago about Lizzo and about how the oppressor used her as a tool to try to influence our women and men by default, by influencing our men and women to think that it's okay to live an unhealthy lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? That it's okay to be, you know what I'm saying, overweight, that it's okay to not be healthy. You see what I'm saying? Lizzo pushed that agenda real hard, real strong, and she stood on it, right? To the point to where South Park did a movie not too long ago, and she was, you know what I'm saying, they drug her all throughout that movie, right? In the first video that she posted, you know, she was boasting about it initially, and then a little while later she did a complete 180 and she was complaining, or she was crying, and she was offended, and she, you know, considered it racism, right? So I did a video basically talking about how the oppressor did what he always does, which is use our people as pawns, and once they use us up, right, then they spit us out and they get rid of us, right? So she went from being on top of the world where you couldn't turn on the TV or turn on the radio without seeing or hearing her, to now where she's a laughing stock, and now she realizes that they played her. And the whole point of the video was, we got to stop letting the oppressors, you know what I'm saying, use us as pawns, and we need to not continuously fall for these traps that are set by celebrities who are being paid by the oppressor. You see what I'm saying? And in the midst of that, you know, I caught a little bit of backlash, right? And so my whole thing is this: while y'all got mad at us for telling the truth, I don't see y'all getting mad about, you know what I'm saying, all these killings that are done by police officers when it comes to so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And a lot of these shootings, these men are unarmed and they're not a threat. You see what I'm saying? If y'all got half as mad about that as y'all did about, you know what I'm saying, us telling the truth about, you know, being healthy and taking better care of yourselves, we better come together under one banner. You see what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, our people have been conditioned to hate the truth. Our people believe that they're above reproach. And that's part of the problem right there. You get what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say that real quick. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I was there earlier too, brother. Most High in Christ. Brother said I just left the gym. Thanks to my brothers in the UPK for keeping me accountable. And that's all we try to do with these videos, with these classes, when we out there at camp. Anytime we out there teaching. And understand this though, the things that we teach don't just apply to the people that we're talking to, they apply to ourselves as well. We not like these pastors who stand up there on the goddamn pulpit and say, don't do this and don't do that. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. Meanwhile, we're doing the complete opposite of everything that we're telling you not to do. That's not how that works. You see what I'm saying? But let's get back to the story, right? It says, over the past 2 years, the family of Nigel Cullins, who was shot and killed by police at a Buckhead restaurant, has questioned why authorities didn't do more to de-escalate the situation. They say the 22-year-old black man had mental health issues, with his mother calling 911 earlier that day for help. Video released by the Atlanta Police Department this week is more than 2 hours long and combines footage from Atlanta police officers, restaurant surveillance cameras, and audio from 911. Cullen's family has pushed for its release, including an unedited version since the shooting in 2022, to try to bring accountability and transparency to the case. The family also filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Atlanta and others involved in Cullen's death in federal court last month. I'm gonna go ahead and stop right there because I think y'all get the point that I'm trying to make. You get what I'm saying? These are the kind of things that we're dealing with in 2024. So for those that believe that racism isn't still alive and well, I just gave you one example, and in a few minutes I'm going to give you another example. You get my point? Not only was this brother unarmed, but this brother has mental health issues, right? And the police did what they do best, you know what I'm saying, which is shoot first and ask questions later. Because the reality of the situation is this: had they handled that with some decency and some decorum, they probably would have found out that the brother had mental health issues, and they probably would have been in a position to where they could have called a professional in there to come de-escalate the situation. Or they could have used a different means of force, right? So the question that I have for y'all is, what do the police have outside of weapons training? This is a question that I have for the class. What do the police have other than weapons training? Who knows? That's true. What else? I didn't even think of that. That's a good answer though. Disarming. That's true. Bam, there it is right there. Hand-to-hand combat, right? Which means they know how to, they know how to de-escalate a situation without ever having to draw their guns, right? What else? What else do they have on that? I believe it's called a tactical belt. Get me right on that. I believe it's a tactical belt. What else is on that belt other than their gun and their handcuffs? You're right about that. They training targets are definitely black. You are absolutely right. Even at when they at the gun range and they at target practice, you know what I'm saying? That they got a big white sheet with a big black man in the middle all the time. Yes, they have pepper spray, right? Thank you. So they have the means to de-escalate a situation without someone having to die, and they have tasers. So take the guns off their holsters, right? They still have pepper spray. They still have tasers. The brother said they got a nightstick. That's true as well. And they've been trained in hand-to-hand combat, right? So with all these things, and this brother not posing a threat, y'all telling me that they couldn't, they did not have the ability to handcuff that man and put him in the back of the police car and then take him down to the station, and then once his mother caught wind, she could have let them know what was going on, and they could have got a professional. Now, see, we all know that they're not going to go through all that when it comes to black and brown people. You see what I'm saying? But I guarantee you, if he was, so-called Chinese, so-called Japanese, any other race other than the so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American, trust me, that situation would have been handled way different, right? The reason why you know that stuff like this is not happening to anyone outside of the 12 tribes of Israel. Matter of fact, let me ask y'all. How do y'all know that things like this are not happening to anyone outside the 12 tribes of Israel? It's a real simple answer. I expect everybody to get this one right. That is absolutely right. What the sister said is 1000% correct. We are not seen as humans whatsoever. When the police get called on so-called black folks, and when I say black folks, I mean all 12 tribes, when the police get called on us, they're looking at it as an animal control situation. They don't address the situation like cops. It's like animal control. And they're coming out to tame some animals. And they'll put them animals down if they need to. And even when they don't need to, they'll put those animals down anyway. So I'm gonna ask the question again. How do you know that things like this are not happening to anyone outside of the 12 tribes of Israel? Real simple. That's it right there. The officer owned it tonight. That's it right there, though. You got to think about it. Imagine now this is a 22-year-old black man. Now imagine if this is a 22-year-old white woman. You think it would have took 2 years for the footage to have been released? Because I don't know if y'all caught that while I was reading the story. This happened back in 2022. The footage has just now been released. You get what I'm saying? So now imagine if this is a 22-year-old white woman in a restaurant eating at the bar. How do you think that situation would have played? And she had mental health issues. How do you think that would have played out? And let's just say the police would have handled the situation the same way. How do y'all think that would have played out? Because I'm going to tell you right goddamn now, first of all, it would have been on every news outlet in the world. This shit would have reached China, Japan, goddamn Hawaii. This shit would have been worldwide. But this is how you know that this is only happening to the 12 tribes. Exactly. They would have stood trial. Meanwhile, this brother's parents is still looking for justice. His family's still looking for justice. So if his family 2 years later is still looking for justice, what does that let you know about the officers involved? So this just goes to show you, like, these are the kind of things that we should be getting mad about. Not getting mad over a video that we did, and which is so crazy because we sitting here making videos saying that we as a nation need to be healthier. We need to eat better. You see what I'm saying? We need to put the drugs down. We need to stop being alcoholics. We need to stop putting all this poison into our bodies. These are the kind of things that we teaching, and you come after us, but meanwhile, you have nothing to say about the Atlanta Police Department. Here's another one for y'all. That's it right there. They're still employed. From my understanding, I didn't read the rest of the story, but the fact that they're still looking for justice. If we don't know nothing else, we do know that those police officers are not in jail. If we don't know nothing else, so if they're not in jail, let's just say that they did get fired by Atlanta PD. You think they didn't take them credentials and go somewhere else? Because I can promise you they did. And this right here, what the brother just dropped, is heavy, but yet extremely sad. This is how they make us respond. Our family members get gunned down in the streets, and we gotta stand in front of them cameras, put on a brave face, and say, "Well, we just gotta pray for them, you know, because God loves everybody, and if God will forgave those officers, then we have no choice but to forgive those officers too." And these are the kind of things, that we say every time we get in front of the camera. We want justice. We talk about justice, but we also talk about forgiveness. But at a minimum, it's paid leave so they can look for employment in the county down the street with full recommendation. Liz, you better believe it. You better believe it. You see what I'm saying? Now, again, this only happens to the 12 tribes of Israel, but nobody wants to get mad about this except the brothers and sisters in the UPK. You get my point? So if y'all think that one was bad, and I don't mean that in a light way, I'm making light of the situation, but I got another one for y'all. Check this one out. Let me see something real quick. Let me go to it. Okay, here we go. All right, y'all, check this one out.
After pulling over a car in a traffic stop in Windsor, a small...
Hold on, I'm gonna play a little bit more, and then everybody let me know if you can hear it. All right.
Town in Virginia, officer... After pulling over a car in a traffic stop in Windsor, a small town in Virginia, Officer Joe and his fellow officer Daniel Crocker approached it. The car driver was a...
Everybody can hear that, right? I just want to know before I continue playing the video. All right, solid. I'm gonna keep playing. Y'all check this out.
Black Army Lieutenant Karan Nazario. Although Nazario officer Daniel Crocker, after pulling over a car in a traffic stop in Windsor, a small town in Virginia, Officer Joe and his fellow officer Daniel Crocker approached it. The car driver was a Black Army Lieutenant Karan Nazario. Although Nazario...
Y'all heard that. A Black Army Lieutenant, which means what? More time than not, he's a law-abiding citizen who loves his country, right?
Nazario kept asking what was the reason behind this traffic stop. Officer Gutierrez didn't deem it necessary to answer the question and asked him to leave the car. When Nazario asked for a reasonable justification first, the officers pointed their guns at him. Obviously, this made the Army lieutenant even more concerned for his safety. Expressing his concerns, Nazario said that he was afraid for his safety, to which Officer Joe replied, "You should be."
Let me stop right there. Have y'all ever seen a video like this where a so-called white man or white woman said that they were afraid for their safety and the cop's reply was, "You should be"? Anybody ever seen that before? Let's get some more.
Yeah, you should be. Get out. Get out. Get out the car. Get out now. I have not committed any crime.
And when Nazario kept denying to leave his car without any reasonable explanation, Officer Joe proceeded to pepper spray him. After that, the cops got him out of the car, and as if it wasn't enough, they kicked him, forced him to the ground, and handcuffed him.
Now, mind y'all, this is an Army lieutenant, right? And all he did was ask questions. He didn't try to draw no weapon. He didn't have any aggression whatsoever. All he wanted to know was, why do y'all want me to get out the car? You get what I'm saying? This is in the UPK. And then once they pulled their guns out on him, he said he was scared for his safety. And what did the officer say to him? "You should be." I didn't even want to play the rest of the video because of how sickening it was. They pepper sprayed that man, kicked that man, beat that man, and handcuffed that man. And for what? Because he didn't want to get out the car. And mind you, in that video, they never said what the man did. Oh, Khan, you're right, Armando, about that's the same one. The brother was in full uniform. So you know he wasn't lying about who he was, right? And the brother said it happened to him. We're going to have to talk about that one day. We're going to definitely have to talk about that one day. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. So while y'all want to sit up here and protect Lizzo and want to come to her defense, who's going to speak up for the Army lieutenant? Who's going to speak up for the brother in the Atlanta restaurant trying to have dinner at the bar? Who's going to speak up for those brothers? You see what I'm saying? You can always count on the UPK to do the things that you on the outside looking in don't have the courage to do. While y'all sitting down in y'all mama's basement in y'all drawers on the goddamn laptop being keyboard gangsters and always got something to say, always got something negative to say because brothers is out here trying to wake brothers and sisters up. You niggas is sitting in your mama's basement somewhere. You calling it a man cave, but in reality, that's where you've been living your whole goddamn life. Okay, you've accomplished nothing in your life whatsoever. Now I'm not directing this towards a brother, you know what I'm saying, who's going through tough times and had to move back in with his parents for a little bit till he get his life back in order. Now I'm not talking about those type of brothers because we've all experienced those type of hardships where we had to move back home for a little bit. That's not who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the brothers who have accomplished absolutely nothing in their whole pathetic lives. And they in the highlight of their day is getting up in a crusty ass drawers, sitting in front of a computer and scrolling through videos and looking for shit to criticize. Those are the ones I'm talking to. You niggas ain't got nothing better to do than to criticize the only people that's out here trying to fix our people. You niggas are not part of the solution. Niggas like you are part of the problem. Nobody's talking about what happened to this Army lieutenant. Nobody's talking about what happened to that brother in the Atlanta bar 2 years ago, mind you. The fact that we just not hearing about this lets you know just how wicked this empire is. And here's the thing, right? This is more so rhetorical, but if y'all want to answer, feel free. If they was able to bury a story like this for 2 years, what else do y'all think they've been hiding for the last 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? This is the problem with us as a people. We've been conditioned to love the enemy and hate our neighbors. The Christian church has taught us that our neighbors is anyone that lives next to us, specifically the oppressor. Meanwhile, we've been taught to thumb our nose down at everybody else. All our people, we look at them like we better than them. But when it comes to the oppressor, we guard our way to hold doors open for them and all kind of stuff like that. Now, this right here is ridiculous. This right here. Something similar happened to those buried brothers by that prison in Georgia. I'm not too hip to that, but I definitely need to look into it. We can rap about that later on as well. But this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, though. The sister said there's a movie called The American Society of Magical Negroes, and it's about the issue, and they made a comedy. Of course they did, because the condition of black folks is funny to all these other nations. We're nothing more than a laughing stock to these other nations. We're nothing more than court jesters. Whether we're athletes, whether we're entertainers, whether we're comedians, whatever the case may be, is run nigga run, is shut up and dribble, is go out there and throw touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? But you better keep your goddamn mouth shut. You see what I'm saying? This is why it's absolutely foolish for us to look to these athletes and look to these celebrities to be leaders. Watch the Tank Davises of the world. The brother is an amazing fighter. Check out Floyd Mayweather if or when he steps back in the ring. He's an amazing fighter. You know what I'm saying? Check out LeBron James next season and Anthony Davis and them brothers. They some amazing athletes. But when it comes to the issues that's plaguing the black community, you should be going nowhere else than the Israelite School of UPK under Commanding General Yohana. That's where you should be going to fix the problems of black folks and to report the news that's going on with black folks, because we're the only ones that actually care. Everybody else makes it a joke and thinks it's funny. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, drop those two stories real quick, because the thing about it is I wanted to show our people what we really should be getting mad about, and not a video talking about how we need to be healthier and how we need to eat better. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody has any other comments, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and drop them in. Or if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in. If not, we're going to go ahead and get to the topic. All right. And listen, and that's what it's all about right there. You see what I'm saying? This is why there's certain podcasts that I do listen to. You know what I'm saying? I'll listen to Cameron and Mace's podcast. I'll listen to Corey Holcomb's podcast. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, Gilbert Arenas' podcast, they'll say some real shit here and there. You know what I mean? But for the most part, all these podcasters, they all reading from a script, and they all know that they got to stay within them lines. Kwame Brown, that's another one who has a good podcast, who don't mind speaking the truth. You see what I'm saying? The story about the Army lieutenant probably didn't make the news, but you know what did make the news? Caitlin Clark not making the goddamn Olympic team. She didn't make the USA basketball roster, and that's news that they was talking about all day long. Meanwhile, her brother get assaulted by the police. No, that's business as usual. Ain't nothing to worry about. That's what we do. It ain't nothing. And this right here is real talk. You see what I'm saying? This is why you cannot count on a Kanye West or a Nick Cannon. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't have what it takes. All you got to do is threaten to take their money, and they's be good. They's be quiet. They's won't say nothing else because they want to make sure that masses gives them good eats, like I rock like to say. And it just goes to show you that Christian spirit on them because they all got millions and millions of dollars already. And you're scared of losing more millions of dollars. Meanwhile, your people is out here suffering and you don't give a damn. But that's what's expected because these so-called pastors are doing the same thing. They collecting thousands of dollars, and our people are still out here starving in the streets. You know what I'm saying? It was 111 out here in Vegas today. 111. You know how many homeless black folks I've seen out there coming home from the slavery? But meanwhile, these pastors who have the money and who have the shelter, who have the means to get these brothers and sisters off the street, what do? They ride by and they might throw a loaf of bread at them. They might throw a bottle of water at them. You see what I'm saying? But they're not gonna come out the pockets and you know what I'm saying, get them the money that they got from the people, mind you. You see what I'm saying? So that's it on that, man. If nobody got any questions or comments, we're gonna go ahead and get into this topic, man. This is a very important topic, and this topic, you know what I'm saying, is for all of us, right? Myself included. And the reason why I say myself included is because, you know, lately, you know what I'm saying, I've been dealing with some personal things myself that I'm you know what I'm saying, try not to go too much into detail because, you know, when we teach these classes are not about us, the teacher. These classes are about, you know what I'm saying, teaching the 12 tribes of Israel. You get my point? In waking up our people and dropping this truth. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing about it is that sometimes we have to be reminded that, yeah, you going through some tough times, man. Yeah, it's kind of rough right now, but guess what? It's gonna be all right. You see what I'm saying? But the one thing that you cannot do is give up. That's the one thing you cannot and should not do under no circumstances. If you think that if you think coming into this school and cleaning yourself up and getting right with the Lord, and then things start going rough in your life, and you decide, you know what, this ain't for me, I'm leaving. If you think your life is going to get better because you left, you playing yourself. I don't know no other way to say it. You see what I'm saying? You absolutely playing yourself. Because I'm gonna ask this to the class. What's the first thing, more time than not, when a brother or sister leaves this school, what is the first thing that they're gonna do? More times than not, what's the first thing they're gonna do? There's no wrong answer to this question, but we got a pretty good idea of what is going to happen when a brother or sister leaves the school. That's true, but give me some more though. That's it right there. That's the answer that I was looking for specifically. Now you got it, brother. That's what I was looking for. More times than not, the first thing that they're going to do when they leave this school is get high. And a lot of times it's going to be the very same day. You see what I'm saying? They're going to get it. They're going to get a cover to their camp leader. They're going to leave the school and they're going to say, oh, I'll be back and all this other stuff. They're going to say all these different things. And the first thing they're going to do is they're going to call a connect and they're going to go buy some weed and they're going to get high. That's what they're going to do. And then once they get high, they're going to think that all their problems are solved and everything is good. And then they're going to wake up the next morning in jail because they went and did something stupid. Now, I'm not wishing this on no brother, no sister whatsoever. But what I am saying is, if you turn your back on the Most High will turn his back on you. And once the Most High turns his back on you, you know what I'm saying, it's pretty much hunting season after that. So That's just how that goes. You cannot serve the Most High and then turn your back on the Most High and think that you're getting over on the Most High. Hey, probably. They probably do still got the connect number. You know what I'm saying? Probably never got rid of it. Or they looked up the connect on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? The connect got to be on social media too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about likes, shares, and follows and comments and all these other things. So the connect got to let you know that he still got the connect. And then when he go to jail, he want to know who told on him. Not knowing he told on his goddamn self. Goddamn dummy. You know what I'm saying? But that's what he get. This is a perfect precept. The brother on fire tonight. This is a perfect precept for those brothers and sisters who choose to turn their back on the Lord and leave their school. You know what I'm saying? We've had many brothers enter these doors. You know what I'm saying? And we've had a few brothers leave out the door. And guess what? This place is still standing. You see what I'm saying? And this is excellent right here. This is excellent. The house that was swept clean now has 7 demons worse than before. That is an excellent precept to go along with what we're talking about. And this is what y'all got to understand. This is how it goes down. You get my point? Do not think for 1 second, you know what I'm saying, that the Lord is going to let you get away with turning your back on him. After everything he did to bring you to the truth, you know what I'm saying, you're going to spit in his face by turning your back because times got a little rough. You see what I'm saying? When in reality, you have to understand that life is all about endurance. You can't praise the Most High when everything is going good and then want to turn your back on the Most High when everything goes bad. All right. First scripture we're going to get is Job chapter 14 and verse 1. All right, that's what we're going to start at. Job chapter 14 and verse 1. Job chapter 14 and verse 1. Man that is born of a woman and it is a few days and full of trouble. So Job is letting you know off the top, man that is born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble. Which means what? Understand that once you enter this world, there's going to be some tough times. I'll give you a perfect example. I know this cat ain't the truth, but I'm using this cat for a reason. Anybody think Puff Daddy living lovely right now? Anybody think everything is good with Puff right now? Anybody think everything is good with R. Kelly right now? Anybody think everything was good with Bill Cosby when he was locked up? The reason why I'm mentioning these 3 brothers is because all these brothers had money, fame, and power. And a lot of us are under the impression that money, fame, and power means no problems. When Puff of all people should know that money doesn't solve everything, because he made a song back in 97 called More Money, More Problems. So now look at him. He done made all that money. He done sold all these records. He done been all over the world, been on all these goddamn TVs. And in the last few months, that dude didn't look like he didn't age 30 years. Why? Because man that is born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble. You're going to have your good days. You're going to have your bad days. You're going to have your ups. You're going to have your downs. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. You see what I'm saying? Especially with us being in hell right now. And why are we in hell? Because our forefathers and our foremothers, you know what I'm saying, chose to disobey the law, statutes, and commandment that the Most High laid down for us. Think about everything that the Lord did to get our people up out of Egypt under Moses, who was led by the Most High. Listen, this is 1000% correct right here. And what you're saying is so true. And this is why a lot of these our so-called leaders don't never say nothing about nothing. because enough is never enough. I got 1 million, I need 2 million. I got 2 million, I need 4 million. I got 4 million, I need 8 million. And that's the spirit that we've developed in this empire. Because we've been conditioned to believe that we got to chase the bag. That is all about the bag. Everything that we do is all about the bag. And then when we get the bag, we got to go get the women. And then we get the women and we have our way with them. We got to get rid of them and then go find some more. This is what America has conditioned us to do. And then brag about it to our friends. All right, let's get some more. Okay, we're done with that. Let's get 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 12. All right. 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 12. All right. This is 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 12. It says, "Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you." Right? We were warned thousands of years ago. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial. Right? What is that? What is that? What is that fiery trial? Right? Give me some examples of a fiery trial. Hey, Shalom, says Most High in Christ. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in, all right? Yes. Death in the family, you know what I'm saying, is definitely a fiery trial, right? You lose your slavery, you know what I'm saying? Car breakdown, your wife leaves you, withdrawals. Listen, all these things are fiery trials. Listen, man, I say within a month's time, these brothers in the world, right? These brothers in the world, but worldly speaking, these was two solid ass brothers. You know what I'm saying? These are my coworkers, right? And within about a month or so, both of these brothers took their own lives. You know what I'm saying? They both took their lives, you know what I'm saying? And both of them brothers took their own lives for the same reason. Well, one of them was for show for this reason. The other brother, you know what I'm saying, it's speculation, so I'm not 100% for sure. But what I will say is the one brother who we know for sure, he was having problems, you know what I'm saying, with his wife. You know what I'm saying? His wife was messing around on him, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, he took her back, and this brother could not concentrate at his slavery or at the slavery because he couldn't stop thinking about what she was doing. And this was during the time when we were slaving pretty much every night, going in at 10, 11 o'clock at night. We wasn't getting off till, you know, 10, 11, 12 o'clock the next day. And this was nonstop. So all this brother could think about while he's slaving away, trying to provide for his family is, damn, I wonder if that bitch got a dude at the house. The other brother, you know what I'm saying? And it was hard to tell if he was saying it jokingly, right? But the other brother, we were slaving. It was a Saturday. We had came in Friday night, and then Saturday morning he goes in the office. He said, "Hey man, can I get up out of here?" He said, "Man, I'm ready to go, man. I gotta go home, make sure, you know what I'm saying, my wife ain't got nobody at the house." And we kind of laughed it off, you know, but the look on his face, it was hard to tell if he was joking or if he was being serious. And the next thing you know what I'm saying, word was, you know what I'm saying, the brother was having some problems at home and stuff like that. And next thing you know, the brother took his life. Now I'm not using these brothers as examples to make light of anything, because those brothers I had a lot of love for. They was cool as hell. You know what I'm saying? And I missed them brothers, and I pray that the Lord brings them back, and Lord allow they in the kingdom, and you know what I'm saying, they have a better life than they did this last time around. But I use those brothers as examples because those brothers were given a fiery trial. You see what I'm saying? And the trooper, you know what I'm saying, dropped that in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Wife leaving you. You see what I'm saying? Mother and daughter going against each other. That's definitely fiery trials. You know what I'm saying? Losing your slavery, your house, and your car. You see, all at once. You see what I'm saying? Those are fiery trials. Listen, this one right here, this is the one right here. This is a good one right here. Being no longer accepted by family because you choose to follow the Most High. And I'm sure a lot of us can relate to what the sister just dropped right now. And that's a sad thing. You know what I'm saying? But this is something that Christ talked about in Matthew the 10th chapter. You see what I'm saying? So Christ warned us ahead of time, and he let us know that this was going to happen. You see what I'm saying? But even with that warning, though, it still would be considered a fiery trial. So you're absolutely correct in saying that. All right. But it says, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. Verse 13, but rejoice, inasmuch as ye are partakers of Christ's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. Meaning what? Yeah, it's a little rough right now, but if you stay the course and you continue to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, you know what I'm saying, and you're still in this particular body when Christ returns, you know what I'm saying, you're going to look back on those fiery trials and you're going to laugh at them. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you're not here in this body when Christ returns, but you left this earth serving the Most High and following Christ, when you come back, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be all good because you're going to be in the kingdom. You see what I'm saying? And your life is going to be a hell of a lot better than it was when you was in this captivity. You get what I'm saying? This is an excellent precept. Brother said, blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you and cast your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. There it is there. How often do we get laughed at when we out there in them corners? You see what I'm saying? I'll let this brother, you know what I'm saying, speak on this, you know what I'm saying, if he chooses to. But there's a brother who gets criticized and ridiculed out there in them streets. You know what I'm saying? But that brother shakes that off and he keep pushing, and it's nothing. The brother holds his post. The brother continues to blaze. You know what I'm saying? The brother goes out there and he does the work of the Lord. And even though that would be considered a fiery trial, that brother passes through those fiery trials with flying colors every time. You get what I'm saying? This is the only way that a man or woman could be made greater than fine gold. I mean, that's it right there. You got to go through the fire, and we're going to get to that precept in a second. But all these scriptures that we getting ready to cover is just scriptural proof, because it's one thing for me to say it. You see what I'm saying? But why should I sit here and talk when we can let the words of God do all the talking? Because this book right here, this is what matters. Everything else is irrelevant. If it's not in this book, then we really shouldn't. We should take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not saying that you can't, you know what I'm saying, read history books and go through thesaurus and all. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying, the answer to all our questions is right here in this book. And this book right here will give us the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we need through the Spirit of the Most High in Christ. You know what I'm saying, to pass through those fiery trials. You get what I'm saying? All right, we done there. Let's get are we done there? Isaiah 45:7. So we're done with First Peter's. Now we're going to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 7. Isaiah 45:7 says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. You see what I'm saying? The Most High is the orchestrator of everything that's going on right now. The Most High is sitting back and he's watching everything, right? And it pains him to see the condition of his people because we are his chosen people. You get my point? But the thing about it is the scriptures say that he chasteneth who he loveth. You see what I'm saying? And for those that's not familiar with Job, you got to remember, you know what I'm saying? The Most High gave Satan the green light to do everything to Job except take his life. And that's exactly what Satan did. And Job, you know what I'm saying, got through his fiery trials. And in the end, Job got everything back and then some. What is my point in saying this? This is what we have to understand. All throughout these scriptures, we hear about brothers dealing with different things, different hardships, right? This is the kind of thing that we read about all throughout these scriptures, right? Whether it was Moses, whether it was Aaron, whether it was King David, you know what I'm saying, whether it was Job, whether it was Paul, or whether it was our King Yahushua, right? Y'all think y'all better than them? Y'all think y'all better than the men that I just named? And I only named a few of them. Do y'all think that y'all are better than those men? Because I know I'm not. I'm not on Paul's level. You know what I'm saying? I'm for sure not on Christ's level. But I follow Christ so that Lord allow I'll be accepted in the kingdom when that day comes. But the whole point that I'm trying to make is, if these great men that were so great that they were written about in this book went through the things that they went through, who the hell do you think you are? And what makes you think you're so special that you don't have to go through things? Because a lot of us, myself included, at one point in time, really did think, man, I didn't found the truth, man. Growing my beard out, growing my hair out. It took a long time to get this hair to grow out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even going front. It took a long time. You know what I'm saying? But during that time, this was around 2016, 2017. You know what I'm saying? I had way fewer grays back then, right? But the thing about it is that during that time, I'm like, damn, I finally found my home. I found where I was supposed to be. My home was not the streets. You see what I'm saying? I finally found a home. I found brothers who had real genuine love for me, who had concern for me, who made sure that when they gave me orders to make sure that I checked in every week to let them know how I was doing and what I was going through. And them brothers looked out for me. And during that time, I'm like, man, I'm good. Everything is good because I found the truth. I found my home. And slowly but surely, a few things started to unravel. And during that time, I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why is this happening? Why did that happen? Because at the time, even though I was coming into the truth and I was learning who I was still very, very young in the truth. So I hadn't been taught this breakdown yet. But once I was taught this breakdown, it made everything make so much sense. And the reason why I'm teaching this class today is because 7 years later, I still have to remind myself that I am no better than the men that was written about in this book. You see what I'm saying? And so sometimes we can get so caught up in what's going on in our personal lives that if we're not careful, we'll start to develop that woe is me attitude. And we'll start to be real nonchalant about things. We won't have that same passion and we won't have that same zeal. And we'll start to question things. You see what I'm saying? And we won't attack things with that same zeal and that same fire that we did when everything was good. And sometimes we need a reminder, like, hey man, this place wasn't built for suckers. You know what I'm saying? This right here, this ain't no square ass nigga shit right here. This real nigga shit right here. You see what I'm saying? And in this place, in this truth, it's the ultimate fight or flight. Serving the Lord is the ultimate fight or flight. You either come in here, serve the Lord, and fight them demons and fight them battles, or as soon as some adversity come your way, you're going to run. Just like you ran when you was in the world. You ran from them niggas that you had got over on the block. You ran out that broad's house that told you that she had a nigga, but you came over anyway. You see what I'm saying? You ran out that bank that you was trying to rob. All you've done is run your whole life. So all you've done is go through hardships your whole life. You find the truth, you think everything's gonna be cool, and everything is cool for a minute, and then things start to get a little bit rough. And what's the first thing you do when shit get rough? You run. And this right here is an excellent, this is an excellent point right here. We came into the truth with layers of garbage, and it must be peeled away one layer at a time. You goddamn right. Because there's only a handful of us that was born in the truth, meaning that they were born of parents who were in the truth and were raised in the truth from birth. There's only a handful of us. And most high in Christ for those brothers and sisters who were born in the truth. But for the rest of us, shit. Nigga, we was alley cats. Hey, we were them cats on that episode of Tom and Jerry. Remember when Jerry's cousin came over, the little swole ass mouse that had the hat on, and he came over, he was whooping Tom's ass. And so Tom like, man, I'm finna go get some of my homeboys. He go in the alley and he go get them cats that's hanging on the alley, them tough guys, them tough cats. And them cats went up in there with their chests out, and they walked up in that house thinking that they finna come with the phone. And Jerry's cousin whooped all their asses. That was us. You know what I'm saying? We thought we were them tough guys and shit when we was in the world. So you real tough, and you come into the truth, and you go through a couple of tough times, and the first thing you want to do is tuck tail and run. You get what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like listen, man. This right here, you know what I'm saying? Like the t-shirt sound. I'm not sure what brother make the shirts. You know what I'm saying? But this right here, this real nigga university right here. You see what I'm saying? You want to talk about school of hard knocks? Nigga, you looking at it. ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. You know what I'm saying? Is the school of hard knocks. You get what I'm saying? See, brothers who know the truth and who accept the truth and know who they was when they was in the world, they can accept it. You get my point? And the beautiful part about it is acknowledging it, but never wanting to go back to it. That's the beautiful thing about this truth. That's the beautiful thing about listening to classes, to keep your spirit in check. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, that's the best form of medicine, is turning on a video, because chances are you're going to turn on the class, and chances are that teacher is going to say something that's going to hit home. Captain Soccer War, you know what I'm saying? Man, listen, that brother does not understand how much he means to me because of all the things that he's taught me, whether through his personal counsel or just the classes that he was teaching. And every time he teaches a class, I text the brother the next day like, hey, the water, sir, that one hit home. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't know how many miles away Memphis is from here, but I let him know thousands of miles away. You know what I'm saying? That class hit home, and I thank him every time because he's always dropping something. And there's no knock on none of the other amazing teachers in this school. Not taking nothing away from nobody. You know what I'm saying? Captain Soccer War. You know what I'm saying? That brother, man. Listen, listen. You're not gonna find too many brothers. You know what I'm saying? More realer and straight up. You know what I'm saying? Than that brother. You know what I'm talking about? But the whole thing about it is that just having that understanding that life is not going to always be easy. You see what I'm saying? A lot of us found the truth because life was hard when we was in the world. And at some point we asked ourselves, it has to be something better than what I'm doing right now. This shit ain't right. It's got to be something out there that's better than what I'm doing. This is not working. I've been doing this for the last 5 years, 10 years, however long. And I end up in the same place every time. Something's got to give. You dealt with it then. Why can't you deal with it now? You see what I'm saying? Because the thing about it is when you're going through things, the beautiful thing about being in this school, or one of the many beautiful things about being in this school, is when you're going through things, you could pick up the phone. You know what I'm saying? That man, listen, man. And I know the brother, you know what I'm saying, he's not gonna like what I'm getting ready to say right now, you know what I'm saying? But the brother Officer Rock, man, that brother has been, you know what I'm saying, real helpful because he's one of the only brothers that's up during the hour that I'm at the Slave. And I can call that brother, or he'll call me to ask me a question about something, you know what I'm saying, that he might have had on his mind, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, right? And then next thing you know, 2 hours later, we just shooting the shit about all kind of random shit. And for that 2 hour conversation, I'm not even thinking about what the hell I had going on or what the hell I'm dealing with at the time. You're telling me that that's not better than putting a needle in your arm and shooting yourself up full of dope? You see what I'm saying? I just found out, you know, couple of brothers when I was in the world that I looked up to because I didn't know no better. Looked up to these brothers, right? Now these brothers is in a late 60s, possibly 70s, right? And both these brothers getting ready to go to jail for the rest of their life because they still out here committing crimes. Think about that for a second. You're out here in your late 60s, early 70s, and you still got that street mentality. You still got that gang bang mentality. So now, no more kids, no more grandkids, none of it. It's all gone. You get what I'm saying? But with this truth, there's a brother who will hold you accountable and will keep you from doing something stupid that you'll regret for the rest of your life. Hey, sometimes, brother, hey, you know what I'm saying, with age doesn't always come wisdom. You are absolutely right. That's heavy as hell, but it's real talk though. You get what I'm saying? And it's a damn shame. And what's so bad about it is these brothers, you know what I'm saying, when you get to talking to them about history and stuff like that, these brothers know a lot about a lot of stuff. But as old as they is, they couldn't stay out them goddamn streets. And now look at them. And so it's examples like that that make me thankful that I'm here. It make me appreciate the Most High that I'm here. So even with all the personal things that's going on, what we have to understand is shit could be a hell of a lot worse. As bad as things is, this is something that we have to tell ourselves. We don't want to tell ourselves this, but it's the truth. As bad as things are, things could be a lot worse. You want to find out how much worse things could get? Turn your back on the Most High. If you saying to yourself, if you feeling bad because you lost your slavery, or you know what I'm saying, you arguing with your woman every goddamn day, or the kids don't want to listen to you, or whatever the case may be, right? You went to the casino, you went in there with $100 to spend, you lost $100, and then you went in there and you spent your rent money. If you think that's bad, which it is, and you tell yourself that this is as bad as it can get, stop following these laws of God and see how that works out for you. You get what I'm saying? And this right here, what the brother just said, unfortunately, that's a lot of our dads. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you something right now. My dad is okay. My mom's is 63. So my dad about 62, 63 itself, right? And to this day, the reason why my dad lives with his sister to this day is because he kept taking his rent money and going to go buy dope and going to go buy hoes. To this day. Confession is good for the soul, right? That's one of my fiery trials, knowing that my father is out there lost in the world. And at his age, he's can't put it down. Now, I'm not gonna say can't. I'm gonna say won't, because there's help available. But he doesn't want the help. You get what I'm saying? But the thing about it is the ISUPK is a safe haven. You know what I'm saying? To get brothers off of drugs, to get sisters off of drugs. You see what I'm saying? Let's get some more scriptures. You know what I'm saying? I didn't mean to run that long, y'all. So like I got a few more scriptures to run through. Let's get Mark chapter 8 and verse 34. Let's get Mark chapter 8 and verse 34. So this is what happens when you don't teach class for a while. You know what I'm saying? You get to ranting. You know what I'm saying? Forgetting you got to drop some scriptures in there, here and there. All right? Y'all forgive me. Let's say Mark chapter 8 and verse 34. And when he had called the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Verse 35, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose his life for my sake in the gospels, the same shall save it. Right? So why are these scriptures so important? The reason why I pulled these scriptures in this context is because what we have to do is we have to deny ourselves. And what I mean by deny ourselves is not just, you know what I'm saying, the lustful things, but I'm talking about denying ourselves of that, oh my God, life is just so hard. I don't know what to do. I got this going, I got that going on. All that self-pity and all that. You see what I'm saying? You cast all that stuff to the side and you pick up that cross and you follow Christ. You think Christ's time, when he was here, you think it was easy for him? Because it wasn't. This is the greatest man that ever walked the face of the earth. And he went through it. So if he had to go through some things, like I asked earlier, what makes you think that you're not going to have to go through some things? This is something that I'm probably going to be saying throughout the rest of this class, because this is something that we all need to put in the forefront of our minds. We cannot possibly believe that we're so special that we're not going to go through some things. When you say live, give me some more. What do you mean by that exactly? I want to make sure I answer your question correctly. So let me make sure I understand the context. In the meantime, while you typing it up, I'm gonna go to the next scripture. All right, we're gonna go to 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3. All right, while you typing that up, I'm gonna read these scriptures and I'll come back to you. All right, this is 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. This one right here, this the one, you know what I'm saying, that should really hit home. This the one that you should really hold on to. You know what I'm saying? Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. Verse 4, no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. You see what I'm saying? The scriptures like this is what should, if you're a little down, you know what I'm saying, you kind of questioning things, you know what I'm saying, you're not at full strength. Scriptures like this should pick you back up. If you holding your head down low, scriptures like this should make you lift your head back up. You know what I'm saying? Put your shoulders back and put your chest back up. You get my point? Let me see. Like when you go through these trials and tribulation by serving the Lord, you will live. Okay. Let me see. Yes and no. Yes, you will live, but no, not continuously in this body. Because even with serving the Lord, you know what I'm saying, we still will, you know what I'm saying, go into the grave. But the thing about it is, though, when we serve the Lord and we leave here still serving the Lord, when we come back, we'll come back serving the Lord. And when we come back, our condition when we come back will be better than the condition that we was in when we left. And what I mean by condition is we won't be in the hell that we in right now. You see what I'm saying? Right now, we got to pick between lights or gas. You know what I'm saying? Food or clothes. You see what I'm saying? You know, you name it. You see what I'm saying? You got 3 kids and they all going back to school at the same time. right? How you gonna come up with the money to buy all 3 kids school clothes and they all start at the same time? You won't have, when you come back, if you leave here serving the Lord, when you come back, you won't have to worry about things like that. That's what I mean when they say you'll live. You see what I'm saying? You'll be living like the royalty that you are. Because all of us have royalty flowing, have royalty flowing through our veins. But because this world looks at us and mocks us, we don't understand just how great of a people we truly are. But when Christ returns and he sets up his kingdom under the authority of the Most High, we will be in our rightful place. And if you leave here serving the Lord, when you come back, you know what I'm saying, you will have you a seat, you know what I'm saying, and you will be in authority, and you won't have to go through the things the next time around that you went through this time around. Let me know if that answers your question, brother. Yeah, so okay, what else? Let me see. And just remember how the Most High brought our forefathers out of Egypt gives me strength. Yeah, listen, this is why, you know what I'm saying, these classes are so important, because every now and then you might say, damn, I heard that class before, right? But sometimes you might need to hear it again, because you might have forgot. You know what I'm saying? It happens, you know, because with all these schools that's been set up, I mean, you got classes going on all day, every day. So it's hard to keep up. You know what I'm saying? Notes get old, papers start to get torn up and faded and all that. So you might not remember all the precepts that you wrote down. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know, hearing a class again, it'll remind, like, damn, you know what? I do remember that precept. You know what? Let me write that down again. You see what I'm saying? Even us as teachers, guess what? We're still students. You get my point? So, Most High in Christ. All right, so we done there. All right, cool. Let's go to Job chapter 40 and verse 6. Job chapter 40 and verse 6. Again, the topic for tonight's class is endure to the end. And the reason why that's so important is because, you know, you're going to have some hardships. You're going to go through some tough times. But in the midst of those tough times, don't ever forget that you serve a power who is the power above all power. This is why he is the most high power. You get what I'm saying? He is the most high power for a reason. He rules everything, and he can turn and he can turn it around for you like it's nothing. Let me see. All right, going to the book of Job, chapter 40, I believe I said. Yeah, 40 and 6. All right, this is the book of Job, chapter 40 and verse 6. Then answered the Lord unto Job out of the whirlwind and said, verse 7, gird up thy loins now like a man. I will demand of thee and declare thou unto me. Meaning what? While you sitting around and you feeling sorry for yourself and you kicking yourself and, you know, you going through all these things, and nobody's saying that the thing that you're going through are easy. Nobody's saying that at all. Nobody's telling you not to care. Nobody's saying that you're not allowed to, you know, have a moment of sadness or a moment of anger or frustration. You see what I'm saying? We in hell, man. We in goddamn captivity. You know what I'm saying? Like I mentioned the scripture earlier. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad. So niggas naturally is gonna be mad as hell because of the consistent and constant oppression. Every time you go through one obstacle, here comes another one. And so that can get frustrating. You see what I'm saying? But the Lord told Job, man, to gird up thy loins, meaning what? Man, cut the shit. All that beating yourself up and all that feeling sorry for yourself, man, pick yourself up, man, and dust yourself off. Get back on that bike, man, and keep going. That's the thing. You see what I'm saying? In life, you're going to take some L's. But that's okay, though, because the Lord is on your side. And when the Lord is on your side, even in them L's, you win. Because what? You learn something from those L's. They just make you stronger. And it gives you that wisdom. So then that way, if you see the next brother going through somewhere, it look like he better go through something similar. You know what I'm saying? You can put your arm around that brother and say, hey, let me holler at you real quick. And drop that knowledge on that brother. And through that knowledge, Lord, allow that brother won't have to go through what you went through. You get what I'm saying? And so that's why scriptures like this is so important. Shake it off. You know what I'm saying? You gotta shake all that shit off. You know what I'm saying? Shake all that shit out your mind and stop letting it control your actions. Because a lot of times in our anger, in our frustration, in our sadness, we'll find ourselves flashing at people for no reason. Person ain't did nothing to you, and you find yourself flashing. Then you look back like, damn, I've been an asshole. Person didn't even do nothing to me. Damn, now you're sitting there feeling stupid because you didn't flash on somebody for no reason. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's the one closest to you. You know what I'm saying? The one that got your back the most. You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to be in your corner and let you know that they in your corner. You know what I'm saying? Because you in the midst of your anger and your frustration, you flash on them. Then you got to realize, like, damn, I was tripping. You know what I'm saying? And when that happens and you realize that you're tripping, you know what I'm saying? You make sure that you go back and let that person know, hey, you know what, man, I was wrong for that. I apologize. You know what I'm saying? I was tripping. You know, I was letting them things get the best of me at that time, but I snapped out of it. I'm good now. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for not leaving my side. Thank you for being in my corner. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for having my back. I appreciate it. You see what I'm saying? And you just keep it pushing, you know? So that we ourselves glory in you in the churches of God for your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that ye endure. Boom, there it is there. I think I got that in this breakdown. If I can stop ranting and get to it, I believe. But that's definitely an excellent precept. All right. All right. So from there, let's go to Ezekiel chapter 18 and verse 24. And listen, here's another thing that's important as well, right? Understand that in the midst of you going through, you know what I'm saying, your tough times and your hardships and all those different things, right? In the midst of all that, right? If you say or do something wrong, it might not be unlawful, you know, but it wasn't in the right spirit, right? And you have an opportunity to step back and think about it, and you realize, like, damn, you know what? I could have handled that better, right? I could have went about that better. I should have went about that better. Don't be so prideful to the point to where you think that you can't apologize. You know what I'm saying? A simple, heartfelt apology that you actually meant actually goes a long way. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times things get broken because a brother or a sister is not willing to apologize. And so we can't allow ourselves to be in such a whirlwind of emotions, of anger and frustration and captivity to the point to where, you know, we get to taking it out on the people around us. And when we have a moment of clarity and realize, like, damn, man, I've really been tripping. The same way that you flashed on that person, it's the same way you should turn around and thank that person for being there and apologize to that person. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're a sister who didn't flash on her husband, or your brother that you know what I'm saying, that flashed on your wife. You see what I'm saying? It's okay to let them know that you know what I'm saying, that you apologize and that you appreciate them and that you thank them, you know what I'm saying, for being in your corner. All right, let me see something. Ephesians 4:26. Let's see. Ephesians 4:26. Be angry and sin not. Let the sun not go down upon your wrath. Yes, that is absolutely a precept for what I was talking about earlier. You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, you got to remember, you know, again, going back to Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter, right? surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, right? So the Most High understand that you're going to have moments where you get mad, right? However, being mad does not give you the green light to sin. How do we know? Ephesians 4:26, the perfect precept. Be ye angry and sin not. So being mad or going through things does not give you the green light to sin. You get what I'm saying? So yes, that is a precept. Yeah, well, okay, no, flash mean like, okay, so let's just say you come home from the slave, right? And you just didn't have like a hell of a day where everything that could go wrong did go wrong, right? And you get home, right? And your husband say, hey, how you doing today? You know what I'm saying? Or hey, how good evening or whatever, right? And you just start going the hell off. All the nigga said was, hey, how you doing? Or hello or something like that. And you just go off. That's what it means to flash on somebody, right? You come home, right? And somebody drank the last of the goddamn Kool-Aid and didn't make no more. And you slamming refrigerator doors and you throwing shit outside. Goddamn kids, why the fuck you didn't make no more Kool-Aid? Got the hard head ass kids. And you throwing shit, you pouring all the sugar down the damn drain. You know what I'm saying? You kicking trash cans and all that old shit. You know what I mean? You had a piece of sandwich in the refrigerator. You were so busy at your slave, you didn't have time to get some lunch. So you like, oh, when I get home, I still got that Subway sandwich from yesterday. Man, I'm hungry as hell. I can't wait. I got the sun chips on deck. You know what I'm saying? I got me a goddamn juice box in that thing. Man, I'm finna go home and get busy. And you go home, right? And not only is the goddamn Subway gone, right? The bag of sun chips is sitting on the counter with 2 chips left in it, right? And you got half a juice box. And you just go stone cold goddamn nuts and just get to just losing your mind. And you got everybody in the house running and ducking for cover because you just on a goddamn rampage, right? That's what it means to flash. You see what I'm saying? And I'm laughing because we didn't all did it. Maybe not to that level. But niggas then came home and then flashed on some shit. Every nigga that's watching this class know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. I can't be the only one in this goddamn class, you know what I'm saying, that can admit that, nigga had them moments like, God damn it, I was looking for that. You know what I'm saying? I told you not to mess with that, whatever the case may be. And it's really not that big of a deal. But because you're going through it, it's like this, but it ends up being like this. You see what I'm saying? Oh shit, man! Listen, well, I remember that, boy, mom's boy, and then we used to try to hide the cookie packs. Hey, you eat the cookie packs and then hide the pack up under the goddamn couch and want to know why it's ants everywhere. So you just turned a bad situation into a worse situation because it's ants everywhere. So you done ate the cookies, tried to hide the packs, so now it's no more cookies and it's ants. Oh, nigga, you finna get your ass whooped now. It's not now it's on. You get what I'm saying? Hey, listen, everybody that's watching this class that's a parent got a stash in their room, some goddamn where. Somewhere. I wouldn't give a damn if it was a pack of annihilators. You know what I'm saying? Some goddamn juju bees. You see what I'm saying? Them shits is in the room somewhere in your secret stash spot. You know what I'm saying? That you looking for that the kids can't get through. Man, I'm gonna hide this somewhere where I know them kids ain't gonna look. I got a perfect goddamn stash spot. You see what I'm saying? Listen, as a parent, you gotta fuck around and have a safe in your room with all the snacks in it. You see what I'm saying? You gotta fuck around. Listen, when you leave the house, you gotta put everything in the safe. You gotta put them goddamn laser beams around your shit. And your kids gonna still find a way to goddamn tumble and bear crawl through all the goddamn little green lines and all that shit. And they still gonna crack your safe and they still gonna eat your goddamn Nutter Butters. Guaranteed. He said he was a lion. That's funny. Hey, listen, man, I'm laughing because this right here, what the brother's talking about, man, I've been through that. I remember we would go shopping, man, and I would listen. Everybody liked what they like, right? And I'm kind of sidetracking a little bit. I really back in a second because what this brother's saying is something that we all can relate to. You know how you go to the store and moms will say, "Hey, pick your favorite thing," and you get your thing, and then your brother get his thing, whatever the case may be. Everybody got their favorite thing, right? Listen, this right here, this is mine. Don't touch. Do not touch it. Right? Okay, nobody gonna touch your shit. Damn, you trip. Stop tripping. A couple days later, they didn't ran through all their shit. And your shit sitting up there, and to them, it's shining. It looked like new money. You know what I'm saying? It looked like a vault full of gold. And your shit just sitting up there minding its own business. You had some goddamn taste of rainbow sitting up there for about 2 weeks. Shit. And nigga must don't want them. Fuck around and eat the taste of rainbow, man, it's over with after that. See what I'm saying? And next thing, now it's on and cracking. You see what I'm saying? Now can't nobody go outside because you got to clean up. Been through that. But see, not only do we have to clean up, we got our ass whooped too, though. Damn, we didn't have to do the toothbrushes. That's some next level right there. But we damn sure had to clean up, but we couldn't even go outside. You better not even ask, because then you're gonna have to stay out. You're gonna have to stay in the house for the next day. And don't let it be the summertime, because you're gonna hear all the kids outside playing. Everybody got bikes now. When you was able to go outside, don't nobody got no bike. But because you on punishment and you can't go outside, the whole goddamn block got bikes. And they put the goddamn milk carton in the spokes so they can make all that noise. And you sit in the house mad as hell. And don't let your mama see you with that look on your face, because she gonna tell you better fix your goddamn face if I really give you something to turn your face up about. We all done been through it, especially Judites. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Now, this is hilarious. You hide it so good, you forget where you hide it at. Now you or no one else can have it. Listen, man, you didn't hid this shit so good, you didn't hid it from yourself. And then by the time you find it, that shit got cobwebs on it. The shit then grew legs and walked away. You don't know where the shit is at now. Everything it's just gone. You know what I'm saying? The goddamn you had a pack of cookies, and now that shit this big. Ain't nothing but dust. You go to open that shit up, you get choked out by the goddamn the dust from the bottom of the damn cookie pack. So yeah, definitely. Everything that y'all saying is on point, which lets me know, you know what I'm saying, we all grew up the same in some way, shape, or form. All right, let's get back to these scriptures. The sister asked one question and she took us down this road right here. So, you know what I'm saying, the water top mind about for that, because we all took a trip down memory lane real quick. All right, let's get some more. This is what I say, Ezekiel 18 and 24. But when the righteous turneth away from his righteousness and committeth iniquity, and doeth according to all the abominations that the wicked man doeth, shall he live? All his righteousness that he hath done shall not be mentioned. In his trespass that he hath trespassed, and in his sin that he hath sinned, in them shall he die. Right? Meaning what? You come in here, you say, man, I'm ready to serve the Lord. Right? Come in here, clean yourself up. Right, you get you a Hebrew name. You know what I'm saying. You're doing your thing. You walking that righteous path. You're on the right hand side of everything, and you start going through a few things. You start to get weaker and weaker and weaker, and you mess around and leave. And in the midst of you leaving, right, you start committing all kinds of abominations. Right, the things that you did on the right hand side is not what was going to be talked about and what's going to be remembered. The things that you did on the left-hand side is the thing that's going to be remembered, and it's going to supersede the things that you did on the right-hand side. Why? Because the things that you did on the left-hand side is after all the things that you did on the right-hand side. Meaning what? You came in here, you learned the law, statutes, and commandments, so you stopped getting shape-ups, you stopped cutting your beard, You stop messing with heathens. You stop doing all these things. You put away the holidays. You put away all the unlawful foods. You stopped doing all these things. And because you weren't strong enough to endure the hardships, you did a 180. So you go back out there and you start back smoking weed. You start back smoking Black and Mild. You start back doing whatever you was doing before. But it's worser now. Why is it worser? Because now you know better. It was still bad when you didn't know better, but it's a whole lot worser, you know what I'm saying, when you do know better and you do these things anyway. You get my point? And so that's what goes to the forefront. So, what did we just learn from Ezekiel 18 and 24? What did we learn? There's no wrong answer. But based on what we just read in Ezekiel 18 and 24, what did we just learn? Yeah, a couple more seconds. I'm gonna give it to you. All right. Because I've been doing so much ranting and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to come up against the clock. All the unfaithful should die now. Yeah, that's a perfect precept. But what does that mean exactly? That's it right there. No matter how tough it get, you know what I'm saying? You can never get turn your back on the Most High. You should never turn your back on the Most High, no matter how hard it gets. You see what I'm saying? Because like I say, it's one thing to leave. You should never leave. But it's one thing to leave. It's a whole nother thing to leave the law, statutes, and commandments behind as well. You see what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, when you leave and when you leave the truth, you leave everything that you learned. You leave that foundation. So now there's nobody there to hold you accountable. There's nobody there to say, "Hey, I don't do that." Why would you do that? You see what I'm saying? That's a horrible idea. You get my point? Now you don't have that. So now you're gonna go out there and you're gonna do whatever the hell you want to do. But you're not gonna like the consequences, and that's the thing. And so once you go out there, it's like you go out there, you go back out into the world, you're doing all these wicked things, and you're feeling good and all these different things, up until you mess around and you get arrested and you go to jail, and now you want to start feeling bad. Now you want to start saying, "Damn, what was I thinking? And why did I do this? And why did I do that?" When in reality, all you had to do was just hold your post. That's all you had to do. Just hold your post, man. Pick up the phone and get some counsel. You get what I'm saying? There are some excellent counselors in this school. You know what I'm saying? From General Muhammad to Captain Cesariak, Captain Gadalhar, Captain Soccer War. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. You get what I'm saying? And any of those brothers, you know what I'm saying, will give you the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding that you need to overcome whatever it is that you're going through. You get my point? That's the thing about being in this school. You have access to brothers that you wouldn't have access to if you was in the world. You see what I'm saying? Let me see. Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta go through that fire, you know what I'm saying? And you still gotta follow the Most High. You know what I'm saying? No matter how hot that seat get, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes that seat do get hot. You know what I mean? But you gotta endure. It's all about enduring. All right. Let's go to Luke chapter 13 and verse 22. All right. We got a couple more scriptures. I think I'm gonna be able to get through this whole class despite all the sidebarring I was doing. A couple more scriptures, man. We can wrap this class up. All right, let's get Luke chapter 13 and verse 22. And he went through the cities and villages, teaching and journeying toward Jerusalem. Verse 23. Then said one unto him, Lord, are there few that be saved? And he said unto them, verse 24, strive to enter in at the strait gate, for many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able. You see what I'm saying? This is Christ telling the people, you have to enter in at the strait gate. And everybody's not gonna be able to enter in at the strait gate, because what starts to happen is once they start to go through them fiery trials, they're not gonna have the strength that it requires to walk into that straight gate. There's a fine line that you have to walk. You see what I'm saying? And there's gonna be temptations all around you. And those demons are going to try to convince you of every excuse in the world to try to justify whatever it is that you want to do because you're going through some tough times. All right. And you got to tell them demons, man, get out of here, man. I'm not doing that. I'm not going back to being that old man or that old woman. That's not who I am no more. You have to do it, because what you don't understand is like Deuteronomy 32 and 39, when the Most High said, I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. So who's to say that the moment that you decide to turn your back on the Lord and sin against the Lord, who's to say that the Most High will not put you to death right there? And like we've taught in classes before, that death does not always mean you go into the grave. That death can be losing someone that you love dearly, or losing something that you love dearly. Can you imagine going out there and saying, man, I can't take it, man. I'm stressed out. Man, it's just too much pressure. I don't know what to do. Can you imagine going out there and going to one of them dispensaries and buying, I don't even know. They got so much stuff out here right now. It's ridiculous. I don't know the names of none of them. Right? But can you imagine going out there and you go to the dispensary because you're stressed out and you don't know what else to do, so you're gonna turn to what you know best, which is getting high. Can you imagine going to the dispensary and you didn't bought the weed that looks, it's like a combination of purple, green, and blue all in once. Some new shit that they didn't put together, right? And you want that one because that's the shiny new thing that everybody's trying. That's the shit that rappers talking about in their songs, right? And so you get you some of that, and you get you some blunt wraps, and you get in the car, and you crying and you stressing, and you just don't know what to do, and you twisting and twisting and twisting, and you put that blunt in your mouth, and you light that blunt, and you take that first pull off that blunt, and as soon as you inhale it, you have a stroke right then and there. And so in the midst of you having a stroke, you drop the blunt in your lap. So because you're having a stroke, you can't pick up the blunt that fell in your lap. And so now the blunt then set your pants on fire because you got these tight ass pants on, right? And so now you having a stroke. So you going through it. So you're having a stroke, you know what I'm saying? The blunt, because it's some kind of some kind of chemical weed with all kind of shit in it. It didn't caught fire. So now your pants is on fire. You know what I'm saying? So now your package is on fire. So now you didn't have a stroke and burnt your package off all at the same time. Now, as a man, if that don't sound like death right there, you know what I'm saying? Like you done lost the feeling in one half of your body. You know what I'm saying? And now that man part ain't working no more. Man, listen. And all them chicks that you thought was in your corner, that you thought loved you so much, they gonna all leave. because all you was good for was a good time, and now they all gone because you can't give them a good time no more. This thing said top ramen gorilla glue. I say, hot damn, that's wild right there. Yeah, this right here with the sister saying, this right here is definitely an example of a fiery trial right here. This is something that requires a certain level of strength. If you serve the Lord and you got people in your family telling you that you don't love them because you choose to serve the Lord over serving them. First of all, not only are those people selfish, but they really don't believe in the Most High, because if they did, you know what I'm saying, they wouldn't ask you to choose them over serving the Most High. You get what I'm saying? But it puts you in a situation to where it's like, damn, what am I gonna do? Damn, what do I do? If you don't have the seasoning, it's like, damn, what do I do? Do I apologize to my family? And do I go ahead and celebrate Mother's Day? Do I bake my mom a cake and go over there with these balloons and all that? Or do I stand with the Most High? If I stand with the Most High, they all gonna hate me. But if I go over there, my family gonna love me. And I'm gonna tell you every time, stand with the Lord. You know why? Because the Lord will give you a whole new family. Whole new family. You get what I'm saying? You'll have a better relationship with that new family than you did with your old family easily. Because nobody in your new family is going to try to use you or get over on you and take your kindness for weakness. You see what I'm saying? They'll treat you like the brother that you are. They'll treat you like the sister that you are. And listen, and that right there is an excellent scripture. I will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. And I mean, it's that simple. The Lord gonna sit back. He gonna say, "Damn." That's like he gonna shake, and he gonna shake his head like, "Dumbass nigga." And in reality, that's what we should be saying to ourselves when we learn this truth, and we decide to go against this truth. You should, I mean, man, listen. Lord be with you, brothers, man. You gotta stand tall, and you gotta stand strong, and you gotta endure. You see what I'm saying? Christ did what he did so that you can have an opportunity to be here today. None of us would be in these classes today if it wasn't for the sacrifice that Christ made. And you know why you look so weak if you leave the truth? Because nobody's asking you to sacrifice your life. Not literally, at least. Christ sacrificed his life literally so that we could be sitting in this class right now. And you're required to sacrifice your life figuratively. And you too much of a coward to endure a little bit of hardship. That let me know that you wasn't strong enough to be with Christ when Christ was out there teaching on them streets and feeding the 5,000. You wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have had the nuts to do it. You see what I'm saying? Christ made the ultimate sacrifice. And all you're required to do is give up shrimp. Do y'all even know how? Have y'all even ever really looked at a shrimp and looked at how dirty they are? Some of these fish markets don't even thoroughly clean their shrimp in the first place. So a lot of y'all eating shrimp shit. Fried shrimp shit is what y'all niggas is eating. That's what y'all don't even know. And some of y'all know and y'all just don't care. Because the oppressor told y'all that it was a delicacy. And in reality, nigga, you eating fried battered doo-doo is what you niggas is eating. What you figure? Put some hot sauce on it, pray on it, you know what I'm saying? And put a little Tabasco sauce with some ranch on it, and everything is good, huh? And wonder why you can't get that goddamn stank off your breath. You done scrubbed your tongue with goddamn bleach. And you wonder why when you talking to niggas want to step to the side and slip and shit like you throwing punches at them. Nigga, because your mouth is kicking. That's why. From eating all that nasty ass shrimp and pork and all that other shit you've been eating. You get what I'm saying? That's all you're being asked to do. Endure. That's it. All right, let's get some more. Right, I got a few more scriptures, man. Let's get some more. Let's get Ecclesiastes 5:19. Some of y'all dudes in y'all fear. Y'all took y'all women to Joe's Crab Shack or what's the other place? Red Lobster. Wow, this is wild right here. She's saying that now, but boy, listen, man. I got a story that I could tell that's kind of like that lines up with what you're saying, but for time's sake, I won't get into it. Lord allow, I'm able to teach a class next week, and I might get into it then. But yeah, that way of thinking right there is easy to say that until reality sets in, and then you want to take it back. But I can relate to that right there. But some of you cats, you know what I'm saying, in y'all weakness because y'all was scared of getting kicked out the house. Y'all took y'all woman out to Red Lobster or wherever, and you let her buy all them you know what I'm saying, it was Lobster Fest or whatever the case may be, and you let her spend all your money on that nasty ass seafood. And then when she got home, you know what I'm saying, she felt sick and her stomach was hurting, and you thought that if you took her out, you know what I'm saying, and bought her all the seafood and all that, you thought when you took her out, you know what I'm saying, you was gonna be able to go home, you know what I'm saying, and pound cakes. And you got home and them cakes was planted on the toilet. So you spent all your money and you got nothing. You know what I'm saying? And you niggas went to bed mad as hell because she didn't put on the whole pajama suit. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't taped up the little hatch in the back. She didn't stitch that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't took her to get the goddamn shrimp platter. Man, hey, listen, Lord allow through you, that sister comes into the truth. Lord allow. Yeah, you right about that. You are 1000% correct about that. Boy, let me tell you something. We're not even gonna talk about that, I rock. But what you saying is real talk though. We listen, because we can finish the rest of the class, you know what I'm saying, going that route. But for time's sake, we ain't even gonna do that. That's easy work right there. But you know what I'm saying, we're gonna stall the sisters out. We're gonna stall the sisters and they faulty ass pH balance from eating all that seafood. We're gonna stall them out. You see what I'm saying? Because some of their pH balance is off already anyway from the tons of loads that they didn't injected. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day. We're gonna stall the sisters out this time. All right. Where we at? Where we at? Ecclesiastes 5:19. Let me see something. Where we at? 5:19. All right, here we go. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 19. Every man also to whom God hath given riches and wealth, and hath given him power to eat thereof, and to take his portion, and to rejoice in his labor. This is the gift of God, right? Verse 20, for he shall not much remember the days of his life, because God answered him in the joy of his heart. This is what happens when you endure. When you endure, you know what I'm saying, you are rewarded for enduring. We have to stay strong and we have to continue to walk the walk. We got to continue to walk that fine line. We got to serve the Lord, serve the Lord, serve the Lord, serve the Lord, no matter what, no matter how hard things get, no matter how bleak things look. Everything around you might fail, but the Most High will never fail. You can always count on the Most High. But this is what you have to understand, though. This is something that's very, 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 very important. This is something that I have to remind myself of 7 years later. The Lord has allowed me to be in this school for 7 years. And Lord allow, if Christ ain't returned, I'm here for another 7 years and longer than that. But this is what we have to understand. if we stand with the Most High will stand with us, and he will never forsake us, right? That's without debate, right? But this is what we have to understand. The Most High does not work on your time. He does not fix it when you want him to fix it. That is not how that works. The Most High does not work on your schedule. You work on his schedule. You get what I'm saying? This is something that we have to remind ourselves of every time we say, man, I've been praying. I've been paying my tithes. Why won't he bless me with this woman that I've been begging for the last 2 years? And what you don't understand is he's answering your prayers by not giving you that woman. You want to know why? Because that woman has the seafood pH balance, and he's trying to save you from the pH balance. He's trying to save you, but you ain't listening. You think he's not hearing your prayers, but in reality, he's hearing your prayers. But you got to understand that the Most High does not work on your time. The Most High loves the 12 tribes of Israel. But again, he's the father, and we're the children. We have to obey him. He set these rules in place. And he said that if we obey him, you know what I'm saying, he will reward us greatly. But he never gave a time. And you got to remember, the Most High is a nigga. And we all know how nigga time work. You see what I'm saying? Everybody in this class know that when a nigga say 5 minutes, more time than not, a nigga really mean 15 minutes. And depending on who you talking to, that 5 minutes might mean 30 minutes. I'm just saying. And everybody in here know what the hell I'm talking about. Yes, the Most High sees the whole picture. He sees everything. He knows everything. Again, this is why he's the Most High. He runs the show. He would be, if I had to give a sports analogy, he would be the point guard, or he would be the quarterback. You see what I'm saying? He's the one that's drawing up the plays in the huddle. And he's telling everybody what to do, where to go, and when to do it, and how to do it. And if we follow the playbook, we'll win every time. All right. I had a couple more scriptures, but for time, I don't want to run too far with the time. So I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna skip those another few that I had, and I'm gonna end with 2 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, because Second Corinthians, the 12th chapter, will tie this whole class up in a nice bow. All right. Some of you brothers out there might like wearing bow ties, so that's why I made the bow analogy. Some of you brothers out there with the clean face and kissing that rock, you know what I'm saying? That's why your lips all swollen and shit from kissing that nasty ass rock. But that's okay though, you know what I'm saying? There's still time for you. Listen, man. Hey, Proverbs it means wise saying, so it's nothing but game up in Proverbs. You know what I'm saying? I didn't taught a few classes just on a chapter out of Proverbs because it's just full of game. You get what I'm saying? So what you that scripture that you pulled is on point. All right, where we at? Let me read this and then we'll get up out of here. All right. 2 Corinthians chapter 12. We're going to start at verse 7. We're going to read down to verse 10. All right. Excuse me. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 7. Unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh. For quick context, this is Paul talking, right? Actually, let's go to verse 6 real quick. For though I would desire the glory, I should not be a fool. For I will say the truth, but now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be, or that he heareth of me. Paul is going the humble route. Despite all the schools that Paul has set up, despite all the brothers that Paul woke up and the sisters that Paul woke up, Paul is staying humble no matter what, right? Verse 7, unless I shall be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me. For time's sake, I looked up the word buffet, and in this context, the word buffet means to treat treacherously, to cause harm, to cause pain, to treat real bad, right? That's what Buffett meant. I'm paraphrasing it, but you get the point, right? Lest I should be exalted above measure, right? So now, what we have to understand about this thorn in Paul's side, this is figurative. This is not literal, right? You know how we be going through some things like, this is a thorn in my side, man. This is a pain in the neck, even though you don't have a literal pain in the neck. But you know how you got that coworker that always come up to you talking, even though you really don't rock with that coworker like that. But he always come up to you talking and he's annoying as hell because, you know what I'm saying, he talk real loud and his breath smells real bad and all these different things. And you say, man, he's a pain in the neck. Okay, well, Paul's saying he had a thorn in his side, and the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I shall be exalted above measure. So in other words, Paul was going through some things. Paul was battling a demon. So despite all these amazing things that Paul was doing, you know what I'm saying, Paul was battling a demon himself. You see what I'm saying? And this was done so that Paul would remain humble and wouldn't get too high on himself and believe that he's the reason why he was able to open up all these schools. And he's the reason why he knows all these breakdowns and why he knows the law as well as he does. You get my point? And so he has this demon that he's battling, right? Verse 8, for this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me. So Paul went to the Most High, not once, not twice, but thrice, right? Asking the Lord to take this away from him, right? Verse 9, and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Verse 10, therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then am I strong. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 6 through 10. This is Paul. The Most High told Paul, my grace is sufficient. In other words, nigga, be glad that you only got to deal with this, because I could put a lot more on your plate. You think you got a thorn in your side. Now, what if I put 10 thorns in your side? What if I put 20 thorns in your side? No, I'm just gonna put this one thorn in your side, and be glad that I only put this one thorn in your side. And when Paul heard that, Paul said, you know what? You're right. So I'm gonna endure this demon. I'm gonna battle this demon. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what I go through, no matter how many demons I gotta battle, no matter how many infirmities, no matter how many ups and how many downs, you know what I'm saying? I will rejoice in Christ, because through my weakness, there's strength. Because in the end, standing with Christ, following Christ, serving the Most High, those weaknesses will become strengths just like that. You get what I'm saying? And so I said all that, and I read this from Paul specifically. This is, you know what I'm saying, a good scripture to end this class on, because what you have to understand is, with everything that you're going through, if the Most High wanted to make it worse, he could. So be thankful that it's not worse, and focus on all the good that he is doing for you and that he has done for you, instead of focusing on the bad that you're going through. Because more times than not, some of the bad that we're dealing with is based on poor choices. Some of us they might not have been unlawful choices, but they were poor choices. And we're suffering because of those poor choices. So guess what? Live with it. This is what the Most High told Paul. Hey, nigga, deal with that shit. Nigga, it's nothing. Nigga, be a soldier. You know what I'm saying? This real nigga university, man. You gotta thug it, man. You gotta deal with that shit, man. My grace is sufficient. In other words, nigga, deal with it. Handle your business. And this is what I'm saying to everybody in this class, including myself. Handle your business and be thankful to the Most High that you're only dealing with what you're dealing with, because it could be a hell of a lot worse. Some of y'all might have back pains that you just can't get rid of, no matter how much stretching you do, no matter how many pull-ups you do, no matter how many times you hit that heavy bag, and you just cannot get rid of that back pain. Imagine your back, your hip, your neck, and your elbow all hurting at the same time. Imagine having to have one of those little buckets next to you, next to your bed, because you can't make it to the bathroom. Imagine going through that. You see what I'm saying? Imagine being a professional driver and you got a commercial license, right? And you have a stroke, and now you never fully recover to the point to where you're never able to drive commercial vehicles again. So now you got to work behind the desk making half the money you was making. And now that decent living that you had, you got to cut it all in half. Now, these are all material things that I'm talking about. But my point in saying all that is, you think it's bad now, it can be a hell of a lot worse. So instead of focusing on the bad, instead of trying to play the woe is me card, you know what I'm saying? Stand tall, stand strong, thank the Most High every day that you're allowed to open your eyes, because it's a gift from the Lord. And every day that we're allowed to open our eyes brings us one day closer to the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Stand tall, stand strong, trust in the Lord, follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, and endure to the end. You understand? And with that, we're at the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General Yohana. This has been the ISUPK Las Vegas Scripture Breakdown class. You know what I'm saying? I am Priest and Officer Shabal, holding it down in Las Vegas. We have class in the Las Vegas area every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. Tuesday's the Brotherhood class. Wednesday is the Biblical Law class. And Thursday is the Scripture Breakdown class. All right? You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to all our social media platforms. ISUPK Las Vegas on Facebook, Las Vegas Israelites on YouTube and TikTok, and ISUPK Las Vegas on Twitter and Instagram as well. All right. Lord allow, hey, Most High in Christ. I appreciate that. The water. All credit to the Most High. You know what I'm saying, for putting these notes together and you know what I'm saying, giving me the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to teach this class. It's been a minute. I missed it. I apologize for going over the time, man. It's been a long time, man. Feel good to do this again. Lord allow, be with you, brothers and sisters, next week. You know what I'm saying? But until the next time, Lord be with you, brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? With that, shalom. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshua bring a thumb to the brothers. Shalom. Yahweh Shema Allah thumb Ba'Shem Yahshua to the sisters. All right? Shalom, Israel. Lord be with y'all.